any of you Negroes and Caucasians, I don't care who you is, whatever your ethnicity is, when you see my wife.
But I remember I was talking to this one dude and he like, so what you do for a living? You know, like just doing the most and like talking to me. And I'm like, you know, rolling his shoulders and rubbing his beard and looking at every part of my body. And I'm just like, okay, I gotta get out of here. Like,
how do you deal with friendly men?
Can I have a guy best friend? Take your time. What's up, y'all? It's your girl TK.
And it's your boy Namdi.
And you are Pillow Talking with the Iwebus. Episode 6.
Episode 6.
Y'all,
man.
Welcome back. Welcome
Still
back.
At it. Let's go.
Listen, here we motivate kingdom living in all aspects of life while encouraging you to strive to be all God has called you to be. And so if that sounds like something that you digging, you vibing with, you need to like this video and subscribe. Right now, you need to like this video. Join the family.
Come on now. This is an Iwebu production.
Period. This weekend, we went to our first, right? Our first marriage event, specifically a marriage boot camp. Shout out to you, Gabby and Martin.
Yes.
Thank you so much for inviting us. It was a great experience. Like, amazing. We knew we had to be there. We had to find someone to watch our kids. We didn't know how it would work out, but we simply prayed, Lord, if we need to be there, we gonna be there. We trusted him and we were there, baby. Do you want to tell them what it was about, the pastor, and just a recap of what was going on?
Eagles Nest Church is the one that put it on. Shout out to Pastor Lee Jenkins and First Lady Martika Jenkins too. Thank you guys so much. Come on, remembering the names.
Look, because that's why I signed you to it. Because I wouldn't remember. Go ahead.
No, they're amazing.
Shout out.
Everything about it, just real transparency. I wish I knew the other pastors and other couples that were up there, their names. Shout out to everybody that participated in it. But just overall, I believe that what I got from it was dealing with maybe a lot of the baggage that you brought into the marriage, dealing with, how we talked about the soul ties and how we really went and repented about those different soul ties that you might have had.
Brought into your marriage.
All this stuff that you brought into your marriage and all those things. The biggest part for me, obviously, was the men's breakout. And just really seeing that men, we're all kind of dealing with and struggling with some of the same ideal things, man. And so I can't give it all full in detail, but it was such an amazing boot camp, and when they do it again, we'll definitely fill you guys in with that.
Yes, and I just want to encourage you, if you are married, baby, please get in these type of rooms. Like, please involve yourself in any type of marriage retreat, marriage boot camp, marriage convention. If it says marriage, try your best to get there, because like Namdi said, you can't run on that same oil. Like, the engine and things gonna start squeaking and chirping, and then it even like just allowed us to be alone. It kind of was like a date night. But what we pulled away from this, and a part of the boot camp, they had a Q&A, and it was some interesting questions. We saw some questions that we were like, we want to talk about this on Pillow Talking with the Iwebus. And so we want to dive deep, and just a couple, we know we can't go over all of them. And so, baby, I'm going to ask you, one of the questions that was the most popular one is, can your spouse be friends with the opposite sex? Can I have a guy best friend? Take your time.
Well, the only way that you could have been friends with the opposite sex is if y'all were already friends before we even, got together. Maybe you was from childhood. You guys had no intimacy ever before, then this is like my best friend. Yes, definitely. But he would also have to be my friend, Me and him actually almost had to get closer than what you got, than what you guys are as far as that goes. So I'm not really too big on opposite sex relationships like that. Especially if the person is not really close friends with the spouse. That does not
odd.
It's gonna be simply odd. You spending a lot of time talking on the phone, like, especially because here's the thing, a lot of times me and like our best friend, our best homie, whatever, we may talk about just some of the marriage stuff. and we might not go too deep or anything
Or
like
you
that.
could.
Or you could.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden, you and let's say if it was me or whatever, and it's a lady, right? Now we're talking about different things that we should probably be diving in deeper with our spouse about.
Absolutely.
And now she's giving me responses that I
want.
wish that you would have said.
My God.
And now I'm starting, and all of a sudden the enemy just has this little pocket. Like I said, he just does a little bitty. Like you just don't really know what he's doing before full-fledged you in a whole different deal. And so I know of probably only one person actually that has a woman best friend and he's married. That's the only person that I know, but I believe it's since childhood, and also they are very close with the wife there too. So yeah, for me it's definitely a no.
Yeah.
And I think definitely had people to try to be friends or whatever, but that's a whole nother situation. But I spin it back to you. Can I have a lady friend?
Why would you ask like that? That was romantic. How you even asked?
I'm just messing with her, y'all. Just messing with her.
Hell no. So I don't even think. Okay, this is when people probably think I'm crazy. I don't care how long you've been friends with her. If she's not trying to be friends with me, and it's kind of a little shaky if she's single as well. Yeah. I don't know how I feel about you being best friends with a single woman. I don't know. It's just something. Why you single? Yeah. You know, like what's going on? Yeah. It's just so much to dive into. So here's a few things. I always say, especially for men, in my opinion, guys, I don't know too many men that have like a best friend. Now, I know there is some. But I have not seen a man that has a friend that is a woman that they don't find attractive.
So you said none?
No. I said, wait.
I'm sorry.
I'm saying I don't know anyone, a man that has a best female friend or whatever, that he's like, oh, she ugly to me. She's typically an attractive woman. She's typically, unfortunately, sometimes in better shape than their wives and better, keeping themselves up a little more. And I don't know, it's just dangerous to me. And another thing is, especially if they're single, like I have a problem with men having best friends that are single women and they're a husband. That's odd to me. Like, and again, if they are, they gotta be locked in with the wives. If you ain't clicking with the wife, if you don't like the wife, something wrong with that picture. Like, why?
Can't be up on the
why
phone.
Why don't the wife like you? Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, why don't y'all click?
Yeah.
What is it that the wife ain't vibing about you? What is it? And so I don't know. I think it's just so dangerous. And then I know me, like Namdi said, if you are my friend, I am talking to you a little bit about everything. Like, man, I just wish Namdi would take this trash out a little more often. Man, shoot, that was something I always did. My daddy taught me how to da-da-da. And it's like, dang, man, so he take out the trash. Like you begin to compare subconsciously. And this is the thing, like it might not sound that deep. The thing is, I always say this, and we talk about this, being friends with your spouse is like vital. Yes. It is literally it's breath into the lungs of the relationship. And so when you're not friends with your spouse, that's how you grow out of like with them. That's how they kind of get on your nerves a little bit more. You forget like, dang, this is my dude. Like for me and Namdi were friends before we ever were romantic. And so if I have a dude like this who's an attractive guy and we locked in as friends, like, I don't know, the sexiest thing to me is that you are my friend. The sexiest thing to me is that you can make me laugh and I get to go home and do whatever I want to do to you. Okay, like that's my homie and my man. And so I don't know, it's a little dangerous to me to have a friend that's the opposite sex. And listen, they might be like, okay, y'all be doing the most. Y'all say no to everything. Yeah. No, I'm hey, it's just because you have to you gotta guard your marriage. And really, to be honest with you, you should be having this conversation before y'all even get married. Like, somebody that's listening to this right now, you're dating or you're even engaged to somebody who has maybe, opposite sex, a best friend or a friend that's pretty close.
And if you feel like something, I need to check on that.
Yeah.
Listen,
check on
ask the question.
Yeah, all of them.
Like,
did y'all ever kiss?
did y'all ever even have like a close moment?
A close moment?
Anything like that?
That's important too.
Yeah.
Because even if you've never had sex or you've never crossed that line, was there ever weird moments when y'all got drunk together?
Yeah.
When y'all was drinking a little too much, was there ever a little flirt? Did a little something ever come out before? Like, ever? Has there ever been a moment that y'all have crossed the line mentally?
Yeah.
Have you ever crossed that line mentally? Have you ever thought of your friend and been like, dang, I wonder what it's like to da da da. If you have, cut that thing off.
Yeah, really. And
cut that thing off.
That's why I think the questions got to come flowing. Like somebody, again, you're looking at this. This is your hint right now. Yes, you listening to me right now. You need to ask him. You need to ask her. Hey, what up with your best friend? You know, even if you feel like they're gonna be like, oh, you being insecure or whatever the case. No. You're in the negotiation phases when you're courting and when you're actually engaged. You're in a negotiation phase. This isn't a sealed deal.
And that's why it's so important to not do permanent things in that season.
Come on.
It's so important to not cross. I know we say this all the time. Y'all probably like, gosh, Lee, but it's so important to not cross the line of intimacy. Yeah. It's so important to not move in together. It's so important to not get those bills together. You better negotiate. You better. Okay. And I was even thinking like, okay, so even if let's say y'all do have an opposite friend, it's clear, it's clean. Is that opposite friend, are they gonna, opposite sex, is she gonna be okay now being second?
Yeah.
You can't talk after 8 o'clock.
Come on.
You can't, y'all not going to the bar together. Y'all not going bowling together. If y'all are, it's me, you, and her. Like, will she be okay with that? Yeah. Can she be around me? And this is another layer to it. Women, and I have to throw this in, babe, really quick.
Very good.
Women, if your man, your husband, has a friend that is a lady, is she modest? Modest in her dressing, modest in her behavior, modest in her character. Does she care about how she is represented? Does she care about how she presents herself around your husband? Ooh. Is she doing a lot when he's around? You know, like just paying attention to those little signs, because even if they've never crossed the line, they've never had a moment, you can pay attention to how a woman, this is how I am. Even when I bring women around you, when Namdi enters the room, I pay attention to how my friends move when you come around. Are they extra like, hey Namdi, you know, does it get a little flirtatious? Do they shoulders move and they breasts move a little bit? Do they hips start swaying? Do they talk a little bit sweeter? Do they dress a little bit like I'm paying attention? And I have to shout out somebody real quick right now.
Okay.
Shout out to Francesca in this moment. Listen, Francesca, the first time we hung out, I think it was our first time. We went to a park. And she had on like leggings and t-shirt, a little mom outfit. And she brought, I think she was dog sitting her sister or her friend's dog. I can't remember. We took our kids to the park. And for some reason we came back to my house. I don't know if we had lunch or what we were doing. But on the way, I think it was on the way to my house, she called me and she was like, oh, is your husband there? And I was like, yeah, he's working. She was like, dang it, I got on these leggings. And I was like,
respect.
You my type of woman.
Yeah, respect.
She was like, I got on these leggings. Maybe go get a coat or a blanket or something that she wrapped around herself. Or I think I might have told her she was good because you were working and you didn't come downstairs anyways. But those are the type of women that you want to be like, oh, is your man gonna be there? Because even if I'm like, for instance, I think I'm a pretty decent, modest woman. Probably not modest to some people. But you know, I've grown, baby. People. You're
pretty modest.
No,
I mean, some of those.
Some people don't want me wearing. Remember when I posted that picture for Bizzle and I had on
a regular t-shirt.
I had on a t-shirt and they told me I looked like a video vixen. Yeah. Crazy. Having women that are paying attention to what they are dressing like. I pay attention to how women dress around men and how they behave around men. So I had to throw that in as well because they might not have none of those other signs of like they've ever kissed, they ever had a hot moment that they fell in love and when they was kids and now but is she modest? And men, you too, like pay attention to men because men can be immodest. T-shirts and doing the most, trying to show their chest off, rubbing their beard. If I ever have met a husband first, I don't care if I just met the wife. I am starting to speak to her first now. I'm starting to be like, hey girl, how you doing? Or whatever. So just being mindful of how the opposite sex, if you don't have none of those other signs, how are they behaving around your spouse? Yeah. And I gotta get to the modest thing that is a big deal for me. Doing the most around my man will get you cut out.
No,
point blank period.
Yeah,
it will get you cut out. I don't play none of that. Like, you doing the most. Why you ain't got no panties on? Why you ain't got no bra on? Why you wearing that? Like,
I can't really think of a time that you had anybody really around. If you thought they were gonna be like that, they never really got around.
They never came around.
Yeah,
you never met them.
So they never got to me or whatever. So I mean, just that was something that we wanted to kind of answer from that we saw there that came up is can your spouse have friends with the opposite sex? I don't know.
And then I just want to say this. Be mindful also. Just my last thing. I'm sorry, babe. Just be mindful if you are emotionally cheating through your best friend. So all the things that maybe your husband or wife isn't giving you, just make sure you don't have more of an emotional tie with that person. Again, if you got it, when you get married, best friend is number 2. It's probably like number 5 because they come after your kids too. Like, just prioritize, make sure they are being very mindful to be engaged with your spouse, but just be mindful of those things.
Be very mindful. So can your spouse have friends with the opposite sex? I mean, what do y'all think, man? Hey, drop some comments below. We want to kind of get some interaction. What do you think about this subject? Moving on. How do you deal with friendly men? So first off, I want to ask you, what is a friendly man?
A friendly man. I love we're keeping this nice and soft and gentle. A friendly man is a flirtatious one. Just doing the most. I've plenty of them.
Yeah, I know.
Unfortunately,
hear about it all the time.
Yeah, I've dealt with plenty.
All the time. I'm never there at these times, but yes.
You've been in the room. You just not by me, but yeah, they've tried it. They've definitely tried it. First and foremost, I just want to state this. I think it is absolutely disrespectful to flirt with a wife as a man.
Real talk.
It is probably the most irritating trait of a man to me. Especially if they're a husband as well. Like, buddy, get out of my face. So there's been so many, unfortunately, there's been so many encounters that I've had. Unfortunately, within the church, ministers, pastors, rappers, singers, who have just done the most, from the famous people to the non-famous, regular, all of it. I have unfortunately experienced very friendly men. I had an experience, and now I think I've gotten a little mean, a little bit.
Hey, got to.
Because I'm just so irritated by it. So, for instance, like, just being overly excited and flirtatious when they're speaking to me. Like, I remember one time I was talking, everybody gonna name nameless. We love y'all, but we see y'all. Yes. But I remember I was talking to this one dude, and he like, so what you do for a living? Like, just doing the most and like talking to me. And I'm like, rolling his shoulders and rubbing his beard and looking at every part of my body. And I'm just like, okay, I gotta get out of here. Like, how do I escape this moment? How do I, okay, your wife is over there. She just quiet. Dang. What can I do? And so there's a few signs. So always, like, I don't know, just always just overly complimentary. You don't need to compliment me every time you see me. That's number one, especially if you have a wife. If you oh my gosh, I have so many examples. I remember I was in a church setting. Yeah. And I'm minding my business. Yeah. And you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know this story. I know this story very well. Because I had to kind of defend because I kind of used to be this type of person. Yeah. But go ahead.
Not no more.
Not no more. She don't let that slide.
I straight that up. Nigga, you ain't about to, no. But I'm sitting in church and I'm facing like this, but I'm turned backwards because Namdi went to go get my water. And I'm like, he took forever to come back. So I keep turning around, like literally. Ooh. You hear my back? Dang.
That girl coming up on that.
Coming up on that 30. Dang.
Ooh, got that
That's
back,
crazy.
that back popping. You're going to hear some more of those.
That's crazy. I rebuke that in the name of Jesus. No, but so I'm turned around.
Chiropractor be good.
I know I need to do that. But turned around completely. And this husband was like, your face is just so perfect. Mind you, I am literally right behind his wife. And his wife hears it. And his wife says, what did he say to you? And I was like, oh, he just said something. I don't know. I made up something to make it a little bit lighter. But I turned around. I was like, why would you ever say something to myself? I said in my head, like, why would you ever say, like, why would you give me such that's a deep compliment to say that my face is perfect. But, and I told Namdi about it. That wasn't his first time complimenting me and doing the most. That wasn't. Number two, I just always think, did you compliment your wife before you complimented another woman? Well, did you make sure you told your wife her makeup was perfect? Yeah. Did you make sure you told that your wife that her shoes and her feet and her booty and the dress, the outfit is bad? If you gonna do the most out in them streets, you better do the most by complimenting your wife. If you gonna compliment every woman that walk by, hey, beautiful, how you doing? You looking nice today, TK. I just want to make sure before y'all leave that house that your woman feel like she on cloud 9 to where she ain't looking dumb while you over complimenting the next woman. You done already praised her. Now, I don't think you should do it at all. Yeah. When we went to the conference, the husband, Pastor Jenkins.
You talking about
Martin's husband? Yeah, the boot camp. He was like, I used to compliment women. Now I just say, hey, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
And there's another layer to that because if I'm married, but shoot, even married, if I was in a weak mental state and Namdi wasn't giving me what I needed, and every time I go to an event, I can look forward to Pastor Get 'em all to compliment me. Yeah. Emotional tie. Then now I'm like, dang, he always making me feel good. Dang, did you get a new haircut? Yeah. Namdi ain't said nothing about my hair, and every time I bump into this dude, so you just want to be mindful of the layers that can come into being overly friendly. I don't like it. And then what was the second half to this question? I know this is very
I just asked you who was a friendly man.
What was the first one? How to deal with them?
Yeah, how to deal with friendly men.
Okay, well I'm gonna let you. You want me to finish, or you want me to let you?
You can go ahead and finish.
How do I deal with them?
Yeah,
I don't deal with them well. To be honest, I just gotta be truthful. I will literally cut people off. Yeah, that is my unfortunate side. Like I will just avoid the person. Like this is so immature. Don't do this. I'm gonna let you answer this in a mature way. But because in my head, babe, I'm like, you know better. Like stop doing that. Like it ain't gotta be like, hey, just ready to hug me and grab me up.
Hey, first off, any of you Negroes, when you see my wife, Negroes and Caucasians, I don't care who you is, whatever your ethnicity is, when you see my wife, let it be a church hug. Don't open full wide arms. Yeah. Don't overly do all of that type of stuff because, like, you might like. If she had to tell me about it, it's going to eventually have to be a conversation. If this happens more than like too many times, it's gonna be like, all right, we got to have a conversation. Come here, brother. You know what I'm saying? Like church hugs. You want to show them what a church hug? We're going to display to you what a church hug looks like. Okay? Some of y'all,
let's tell them what not to do first. Okay.
Okay.
So this ain't. You don't hug like this.
This ain't how you hug. What's going on, sister? Hey. Good seeing you.
Good seeing you too. Looking so nice.
Nice. You good. Looking real good, girl.
Yeah, we you don't do that.
Nah. That ain't the way to do it.
Arms.
The way that we
breasts should not be touching pec. Nah. Hip should not be touching hip.
Her arms should not be up here above his neck and all around. Like no. Shouldn't be none of that.
It shouldn't.
Straight up.
So how you lean in.
How do you do a church hug? We're gonna properly display to you guys what a church hug looks like.
And this is for married, single, all of that. Y'all should not be hugging intimately. Period. I don't care if you both single. Y'all should not be hugging intimately. So you're gonna keep one arm down.
Yes.
And you're gonna put one arm out.
Yes.
And you're gonna lean in.
Hey, what's going on,
Sister TK? Brother Namdi, how you doing?
We're doing great.
Good to see you.
Good seeing
you don't got a compliment. If y'all interested in each other.
If you single, I ain't got no problem with you dropping compliments. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
If you're both single. Both of you are single.
Yeah.
Yes, there's nothing wrong. And then, make sure the compliments stay light and friendly. Like, hey, you looking nice today. Okay. Yeah. Because I think we still compliment other, like the opposite sex. Like,
dope shoes.
Exactly. If I see a man and he just like sharp and he just put his outfit on and there's nothing there, he ain't weird towards me. Because if he is weird, I ain't never complimenting you.
Right.
But if it's friendly, okay, bro.
Yeah.
I actually DJ from church.
Yeah.
He I don't remember what Sunday it was, but he just got his hair done. He like had a really nice outfit and I was like, okay, DJ, you better get ready for your wife. Or I said something like that. That's fine. Again. Also, if that other person ain't weird and doing flirty things,
he's not that type of dude.
He ain't the type of thing like, dang, TK saw me today. Yeah. So I don't know. But I don't deal, to wrap that up though, I don't necessarily deal with it too well because it's common sense to me that you should not flirt with me.
Hey, do I need to have a conversation?
Yeah,
like
you
point
have.
Blank.
Yeah.
Like, do I need to have a conversation? Because we can't play that.
But it's not overtly. Sometimes it's like that underlying, just like how they look at you in your eyes. Like women, y'all know when a man is flirting with you, like it might not be like, he might not do all that. It just might be like, yeah, oh, that's dope. I saw what you did last week. That's fire. It's a spirit. I don't know. Like you can feel it. And then I also want to say as well, and I know I'm talking about modesty again, but modesty is a big part, women. If you are dealing with men doing weird things, a lot, yes, check your modesty. And again, modesty is not just in how you're dressing. Modesty is also in your behavior. If you're a wife, do you behave like a wife? I remember I just asked you that. I was like, babe, do I behave as a wife? And it's crazy because even when dudes talk to me, they be like, I know you married. Like dudes know, like, I know you somebody's wife. I just know it. So yes, it doesn't always protect you, but it is a layer of protection. Now, after my long-winded day,
it's well needed. Hopefully somebody got something from that.
Hopefully. How do you deal with have you experienced friendly women and how do you deal with them?
So yes, I have dealt with friendly women. I worked retail for pretty much most of our marriage so far. I have worked in retail, so I'm always running into women on the sales floor and all those things. And I've always dealt with them by, first off, my thing is I speak a lot about you. Yeah. That's just in my natural nature anyway. Yes. Probably when I'm talking with anybody, because you're my closest friend, like you're my everything. So you're my everything. So like I'm just talking to people and I'm naturally gonna say my wife. My wife this, my wife that. Yeah, my wife was saying, whatever the case may be. And so I'm definitely gonna make sure that I bring your name up. So that's one way too. But let's say for instance this person works with me. Okay. I've had it with some instances where maybe some more kind of flirtatious women worked with me, okay? And, or, they were maybe serving with me or whatever the case may be. And gosh. If I see that type of situation going on here, what I do is I'll end up politely eventually passing them to you in some way, some form. I'm going to get them hooked up with you.
Oh, that is what I do.
Yeah. In some way, some form. I gotta slide them over to you.
You do.
In some way, I'll be like, yeah, you need to, you should get with my wife. Yeah. Like, you should definitely talk with her. Yes. And all of a sudden, like, I'm sliding them over to you in some form, some way. The number, however, like,
passing all of them.
Somebody might be like, hey, I want to come to your church. Oh, cool, yeah. When you come on through. They come there. Hey. Here's my wife. I'm automatically going to put her on front row seats and it's not that sometimes somebody's came off friendly. It's just a woman. Yeah. So she's visiting my church and I don't want her to just be like connected and just talking to me. Who's this girl
Right.
that Namdi over there talking to?
Always talking
like,
to her
no.
in the corner.
Like, hey, this is my wife, and I'm
Yes.
gonna try to connect her now with you
Yeah.
because what can I do for a friendly woman? Ain't nothing I can do for them. Why? What are we connecting for?
Yeah.
She need to be connected with you.
Yeah.
Most of the time when I'm dealing with if it's a friendly woman, most of the time she's not saved either though.
Facts.
You understand?
Yes.
So to get her out, to get her from being this type of woman who's like overly like just showing herself to men.
Yeah.
I need to connect her with a woman that came from the world and learn how to be modest.
Yeah.
So therefore you can kind of now go through a process of maybe discipleship and all those things.
Yes.
So that's the way that I do it. I've had
that's
that type of situation happen before.
I think that's the way to do it. And I do that. I'm sorry, y'all. I have to take that back. That is what I do. That is absolutely what I do. When men are, because in some situations I've had to work with men and I've had to talk on the phone with them.
It's in many situations.
Yeah, many situations I've had to personally. Shout out to Ruslan. He set up something that was so good when he was, I went through his YouTube masterclass. Yeah. I think that was why he was messaging me. And he needed to DM me or something, and he added you to the group text. Automatically.
Yeah.
I saw Ruslan, Namdi, TK. I'm like, shout out to Ruslan.
I think that might have been the first time we seen something.
That was the first time. And so I started doing it.
Yeah.
After I saw Ruslan do that, I started, like, if I message a man, I started adding their wives. Like the pastors, I started adding their wives because, again, I have to, either I'm rapping or I'm ministering, and most times I'm around men, and so I have to talk on the phone. But if ever I felt something weird in the past with a man, I begin to, okay, now it's time to talk to Namdi. Yeah. Okay, like we cannot just keep talking and my husband is never involved, especially if the conversations start going past business, ministry, it starts getting personal, it starts getting, okay, now it's time. And the crazy thing is, babe, when I've passed the man off to you, they kind of just disappear. Yeah. And that has, some of them, yes. And that has let me know, like, your intentions probably weren't the purest. If you were talking to me all the time. Now that you have been connected to my husband, you've fallen off. All of a sudden, you don't check on him. Y'all don't talk. But if it was me,
talking all the time, calling all the time. Yeah, we've had it where some have fizzled out. Yes, because they have to go through me. Yeah, and they want to just talk to you. Yes, they just want to like be on the phone going hard with you. And so because, like she said, she's in an industry where she deals with men or it may be different men in this Christian hip hop artists or ministers or whatever the case may be. Yeah, it's like I've seen her around and like a man's talking with her or whatever, and I'm around, so I'm hearing the conversation. Yeah, but then if she slides it to me, and now all of a sudden disappeared. Yeah, we ain't got much. We ain't got much to talk about now, huh? Yeah, like it's kind of weird. It's really weird. Yeah, and most of the brothers that are real, that's really about like, nah, I just love y'all straight up. They still around. Y'all. Yeah, shout out to y'all.
Shout out to y'all. So shout out to y'all. Yeah, that like both of us, because it's both of us. And I just want to make this very clear. Yeah. If you are watching this, I am not going to be your friend, brother man. Like right. You will be my man's friend and I will be your wife's friend and we will double date. But I am not going to be your personal friend. Where if the conversations start getting a little too deep, a little too much, I'm passing you off to my man. Like I'm not going to be your friend. And again, in the past, and sometimes even like for the thing about women, babe, we gotta be a little like stern a little bit. Like, I see a couple of women that deal with it. Like I've watched women like kind of, what's the word? I don't want to say ignore, but just kind of like cut it off. Like I can't talk to you because you're being weird. And so that's kind of in some senses you have to be that way. So I just want to say this, ending it. Overall, if you are a husband or a wife and you see that there is an opposite sex that is being kind of flirtatious towards your spouse, step in. Like, hey brother, how you doing? Hey sis, how you doing? Girl? Yes, I'm his wife. Yes, okay, you said you want. Because what can we really talk about? Like you as a man, if you're trying to be close to me, you probably need help at being a husband. You probably need help being a leader. You probably need help being a protector, and I can't help you do that. If you're trying to get close to my man, you probably need help being submissive with your husband, being a lady, being feminine. He can't help you with those things. So if you reaching for something outside of that, most likely it's inappropriate. And I want to say this last thing. I know y'all probably think we weirdos and we squares. Ask people that are faithful in their marriages. Ask people that are 100 with their spouse. Ask people that truly love their spouse. And my thing is, I don't want it to look crazy. Even if my intentions are pure, we ain't about to be cooped up talking all the time. So, and that's because I honor you too much to have you looking dumb in these streets. And so just know we're not giving this advice to be weirdos. We're saying, y'all stop letting the enemy get a crack. Because when he get that crack, he takes them out. Next thing you know, you got a full-blown affair. So this is why we say be mindful of the flirtatious opposite sex.
Yeah, so again, how do y'all deal with the opposite sex, like friendly men or women? I would love to hear what some of y'all have to say. Make sure y'all drop a comment below. Please. Interact with us on this situation. Babe, you got a question?
Yes. So one of the most common questions that I kept seeing arise. Let me reword that. One of the questions that I continuously saw asked was how to deal with a spouse that has a pretty opposite lifestyle to you. So I married you and you a big time smoker. And it disturbs me. I think it's so unhealthy. I'm on this health kick, but you know, smoking these cigarettes down. You throwing the packs back, or you know, I am a gym rat and you overweight and you don't care about nothing. You ain't even trying to think about a salad. You ain't even trying to get a smoothie in, or I'm really deeply in my word and you're just really not. You really don't care. How do you feel? Or I'm a CHH artist and you don't like Christian hip hop at all. How would you deal with having a spouse that has an opposite lifestyle to you, or something that you care about, they just don't? Yeah.
So I believe, and I'm a firm believer in, these are the type of things that could have been handled ahead of time. So number one, I don't believe that two people should be together that have so far of a different lifestyle from each other. I mean, like, just, you know, you a strong believer. Right. He's strong in the streets. Like,
but that be happening.
No, it do.
Yes. And the woman be at church and the man never come.
And here's the reason though.
Yeah.
Because we probably jumped in, and I'm gonna keep saying this, I'm gonna reiterate this a lot of times, is that like we probably jumped into bed too quick. We probably was doing just a little bit too much of that stuff and then forced a marriage. Okay? Like, when you should have just took a little bit of time to see who exactly it is that you're with. One of the main things that I knew about you, again, this is why we say have your non-negotiables. One of my non-negotiables, she got to love Jesus more than she loved me.
Yeah.
Okay? So we don't have a problem with, do she want to go to church or whatever the case. Ooh. We may have an issue of, do we want to go to the same church, or like if we like the same pastors or whatever the case may be? Yeah. Do we want to go to church at all? Right. Like, that'd be something. That's probably one of the biggest thing in the church right now is
husbands be at home.
Husbands be at home.
Yes, they don't be going to church with their wives. Nah. You know, we'd be like, oh, she's married. Yeah. We ain't never seen that man.
Never at all.
And that's a problem. Like a mystery man. He's a mystery. Like, you never see him. And then when you do, you're like, oh, you ain't, this makes sense. Like, and that's a big deal, because that it goes in, especially church. Like, that is a big deal, because number one, you're being taught something that your husband isn't, or your wife isn't. Yeah. And then also that trickles into how you lead, how you handle finances. It literally goes into everything. Yeah. And I see that being such a big, or even going to different churches. Yeah. I don't think that's healthy.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things my father always told me is, Augustine, I don't care if your wife, if she is going to school, you need to be going to school. Yeah. If she is studying the Bible, you need to be studying the same thing. And so, like, I've always looked at that. Because here's what happens, is you'll see that like two people are going down two different sides of the roads, and like you're doing like this. She going to church, you going to the club. Yep. Y'all going like this. Yep. And if one doesn't reel the other one in, like if she doesn't reel that brother in from the club, or that sister in from the club, or whatever the case may be, into the church, then the thing is going to go off road. It's not going to work out. Always. So I believe that, number one, that's something that can be taken care of during the courting season, and that's why I say, hey, well, I think last time on one of my videos I said, yes, I believe you can figure out if you want to marry this person in 6 months to a year because you're doing so much of the interview process. I can figure out so many things.
Sex.
Yeah, without sex. So therefore, I'm not cloudy. I'm not cloudy in my judgment. I'm not just trying to push this thing for just because I'm just because I want to be with you so bad or whatever.
Right.
I'm really figuring out, okay, is this really the person I'm going to spend my life with?
Right.
Like, I think people just don't really understand. Like, mind you, we only own this earth sometimes 70 to 80 years.
Right.
Even less than that.
Sometimes, yeah.
You understand? Mm-hmm. Be a privilege to make it to like 60 something. You understand? Like, and you got to know you're committing your life to this person.
Yeah.
So that's why I say you got to take so much time with that. But moving forward, if like say you're into it and you're just into maybe two different things.
Yeah.
I believe we've had it in some of our situations where she likes things that I'm just not really into.
Yeah.
Like I'm really into entrepreneurs speaking, like listening to those things and all of that. I believe More of Yours, baby, is what the
lifestyle
living and all of that.
Hacks.
And I believe sometimes if there's somebody that you love, you should be interested in what they're interested in sometimes. So it's not that you necessarily gotta like deep dive into it, but like sometimes I might end up stopping and looking at Peyton or whoever it is, Aaliyah or all these people. I don't know, get them all. They all look the same to me sometimes. So anyway,
they go to the same doctor.
Yeah. So again, it's the same doctor. Oh my. So anyway, I'm gonna stop and see. And number one, I want to know also what is my wife into? What is she listening to? Yeah. Because it might be something that hold up. I know, no. I need to rebuke that right now.
Yeah.
That
Who are you being influenced by?
That's the biggest thing. Yes. It's because they have some type of influence in some type of way. So I need to know. Okay, what's going in her eye gate? What's going in her ear gate?
Yeah.
So you need to stop. Take a sample of what's going on over there. If it's not something that's against the word of God, like okay, stop and take a sample, see what's going on. She's come over on this side with me some.
Definitely.
She's looked at some of the entrepreneurs and take a bite. Like okay, cool, I like Shan's or okay, I like some of that. Like I'm gonna mess with that. So she's dove into really big time, really big time. We sometimes butted heads on some of those things before, but you have to be willing to take a step across the aisle and say okay. Let's meet in the middle. Yes. You like this thing. I want to see why do you like this thing or whatever the case may be. So I guess the same question to you there, babe. Like how do you deal with a spouse that has a different lifestyle?
Yeah, I mean that's really deep. We obviously don't have that. Our whole foundation is literally exactly the same. Moral standards, faith, belief. Yeah. How we want to raise our kids, the money we want, the businesses that we want, everything is aligned when it comes to the foundation of a healthy marriage. Yeah. So we don't have that an experience, but what I will say is, and piggybacking off of what you were saying, that can be solved in your dating season. And this is again why we say don't have sex. Because when you have sex, I've seen people throw away their non-negotiables. I've seen people throw away and avoid and duck. I mean, the red flags could be smacking upside their head.
Can't feel it because something else is smacking across their butt.
Okay. So you get smacked with red flags, but you get smacked on the butt. So
on the butt though.
If you get more smacked on the butt than you are smacked in the red flags, you might choose the butt over the flag. So I've seen it in real life. I've seen women, unfortunately now that are divorced, that ignored their man doing things, saying things, behaving in ways that they know they wouldn't want their husband to be like, that they know they wouldn't want their kids to grow up and see or be like. There was a question that I saw on Instagram that was like, whoever you're sleeping with, are you okay with raising another one of him? If he was to have a daughter or a son that was just like him, would you be okay? Would you be proud? And so that's why we go back to continuously saying, just don't have sex, because it's something about having sex that just clouds your judgment. But when you have, I have a friend that's abstinent, and she was talking about how like the clarity that she's walking in, and she was telling me, she was like, TK, if I was sleeping with him, I would have ignored that. I would have ignored seeing that. If I was intimate with him, I would have been like, man, It's cool because a lot of times we be staying in stuff simply for the sex. We be staying in stuff because we're sexually compatible.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to getting married, ain't nothing matching. Yeah, we can both be freaks and get it done in the bedroom. But when it's time to pay bills, when it's time for you to make a decision and for me to be submissive, when it's time for you to clean, when you really want to play the video game, those are the things that we really needed to know instead of smashing it. So it's such a big thing. But unfortunately, for those that are married and they like TK Namdi, we in here. We can't. It ain't nothing to do. I want to encourage you. Number one, first and foremost, like what you said. Again, this is piggybacking a little bit. Care. And you got to know that if you are married, we are supposed to, you're supposed to love the bride as Christ loved the church, right? Or you're supposed to love like Christ loves the church. Meaning there's this selfless, sacrificial love, unconditional love, relentless love, a love that seeks to understand. And so if you are going into your marriage with this mindset, like there's been times that Namdi's like, we're going to watch this thing on finances. We're going to watch this tonight. And I'm like, I want to lay in the bed and eat chocolate and watch a vlog. Like, I don't want to learn because that's like school to me. I don't want, I'm 30. I've been out of school for a decade and some change. Like, I'm not really trying to go to school, but the sacrificial love, the love that wants to show you like, baby, I care about what you care about. Let me see what this thing about will show up. Now, not always, but it's the intention that you set behind it. And I really, really, really want to speak to the person whose spouse is not going to church with you. I need you to get serious about praying for them. I need you to get serious about fasting on their behalf, pleading and knocking on the door. I had me and my friend Francesca just did a devotion about prayer, and the thing that I took away from it, two things, is that the Lord is inclined to us when we pray. That means he leans to us. He is attentive when we are speaking to him. He's paying attention. It's like you and him only. So I want you to be confident in knowing that if you are lifting your spouse up in prayer, God hears you. And then what do you do with that? Because he is a good father, because he is a father that has plans of a future of hope, we can sit back and know, number one, I know you heard me. Number two, I know that your plans for my life is to do good. I know that it is. So I can sit back in confidence while still honoring you, while still respecting you, while still loving you. I can know that God is going to answer this prayer. Although me and Namdi, we don't have like big opposite lifestyle stuff, but there's some things that I desired from Namdi as a husband that I did not verbally ask him about. But guess who I asked about? Guess who I went to about on the behalf of my husband? And next thing I know, Namdi doing something that I've never asked him to do. Because one, my man is also a man of God, so he gonna talk to God too. So just believe in the power of prayer. Believe in the power of consistency on the behalf of your spouse. I'm sorry, babe. Do you want to say something?
No, I think that you know, as far as it goes, you got to know that marriage is another tune. Like it's low key. Even though we're celebrating at the wedding and all that, it's a funeral. Homeboy gone. You no longer. It's some things that you're gonna have to sacrifice.
Yes.
So.
It's dying to yourself. To be very clear about that. It's dying to choosing yourself first.
Yes.
And this doesn't mean like, oh, it's always my husband. It's always my wife. Like, no, but I said I do. And I said through thick and thin. I said rich or poor. I said all of these things. That means in some situations, I take the back seat. That means in some situation, not when Namdi, you probably want to lay down. I'm like, babe, I need you to clean that restroom.
Let me tell you, today, you know, different things that I had my own plans. But I had to sacrifice that. And so I believe when it comes down to those different lifestyles,
dying to yourself.
Dying to yourself. Yes. You got to see, okay, what are they liking? Let me, you know, try this thing along. Again, as long as this is not against the word, as long as this is not, you know, you're not doing something that's against the Lord, then hey, go ahead and see what your spouse is doing there. You want to kind of get involved in that situation. See what they're doing. You want to stay connected, because if you guys are going like this, eventually y'all gonna be split apart. Y'all gonna be somewhere you don't want to be, in a courtroom with cheating. The D word. That too.
Or cheating.
That too. You know, and so again, that is very paramount. I think that for those to make sure that, you know, if you got somebody with a different lifestyle and doing that. So
yes,
if you,
I was gonna say, I just want to encourage you, if you have a spouse that is doing something that is opposite of what you desire, or they're not doing certain things that you want. Again, I just want to reiterate this. Do not forget the power of prayer. Please. This world keep telling y'all about manifesting. It's prayer. It's talking to the Lord. It's going to him in confidence. Not like, dang, Lord, please just change him. But like, God, no, I know who it. And then also like begin to speak to them as if they are already that. Begin to honor them as if they are already that. So I just want to encourage y'all, if y'all dealing with that, man, y'all better dive into the power of prayer, because prayer really changes things. It really does.
Definitely does. So anybody who also has opinion on that, as far as, you know, you're dealing with a spouse with a different lifestyle, or maybe you went through that and you were able to do something and really kind of bring some insight with your spouse on why you do what you do.
Yes.
Hey, leave us a comment below. We want to know what you think about that same thing. So my question to you from it is, what do you do when you're no longer attracted to your spouse?
No longer attracted to your spouse. So unless you marry someone you wasn't attracted to, I don't necessarily believe that you begin to not be attracted to them, or they've drastically changed in their appearance. That's the only way I can see you not being attracted to your spouse anymore. So most times I feel like that's an emotional disconnect. You've emotionally disconnected from them. And so, you know, when someone is irritating you, so like, you know, when I've irritated you so much, or I've disrespected you, or I haven't honored you, and sometimes you're like, I don't want to touch you. Like, I'm cool. I'm trying to have sex. Like, if you're so annoyed with your spouse, I do believe that can be an unattractive trait that will allow you to grow out of attraction. But I don't think that can physically happen if you marry someone you're attracted to. So just to say to that, though, when you are emotionally disconnected from your spouse, which that will absolutely cause you to be unattracted to them, I will say you got to get back to this. Like, when did we lose our friendship? When did we lose the date nights? When did we lose the romance? When did we lose you asking me, hey babe, what you doing tonight? When did we lose you when you was trying to get in this thing? You know, you was real up on your stuff, and flowers and notes and texting and being real sweet. When you talk to me, you deep in your voice at nighttime. Like, let's get back to that. Ladies, let's get back to caring about yourself and putting on that dress at nighttime, putting on making sure your fingers and your nails and your toes look good and smelling good. What you would do, unfortunately, when you was in sin. You know, you didn't pull up on dude just looking a hot mess. Now you shaved. You took you shaved. You took a shower. You put that oil on. You had your purse. You smelled good. You were dainty. You did what you needed to do. So let's get back to that, because now it's holy. Now the Lord approves of this, and so that's what I will say is, when did we lose what we had? That's an emotional disconnect. And then, if your spouse physically has changed, because there is a situation where, you know, people stop caring. Now, I want to make a disclaimer really quick. This is not for people who have any type of illness, any type of diseases, that you cannot control the way you look. You cannot control what your weight is doing, your hair.
Disability.
Like, and this is not for you. I am talking to healthy humans who got lazy, who stopped caring about taking showers, that now you stink, your breath stink, you always got boogers in your nose, you got holes in your socks, you just wear the same thing over and over. I'm talking to y'all that get lazy in marriage. Baby, you can't do that. And I'm not saying that's a goal for someone to cheat, but like, you also don't want to give the enemy that door. You also don't want to give him that crack. And so, you know, try to stay how you looked when y'all first, like, I asked Namdi about certain hairstyles, like, how you feel about this? I know a certain hairstyle, I might still do it, but I also got to be aware that he might not be like dang, with this one. You know, so being aware to what is my spouse like? I remember I told you, like, baby, I know you like me putting on this lingerie, but I like you to do a little shum too. I want you to be clean when you get in this bed too. I want to see a gold chain. I want to see certain, and y'all see, Nandi is a very different man now. Like, there's certain things that, and then also, I'll wrap this up. Being vocal in a loving way on what you desire your spouse to present themselves. Like, you would tell them, like, "But I want you to wear that little dress when you, I don't, even if we not necessarily foreplaying, about to get it done. Like, I just want you to wear a little something, something." I would tell you, like, "Babe, time to do away with that shirt. You've been wearing it for a while. Let's throw it away. You know, let's throw it away.
Just won't be there no more.
Yeah, I don't want to see that shirt no more. Yeah, that's enough. So don't be lazy, y'all. Like, stop thinking just cause he there or just cause she's there or you got me, so this is what it's gonna be. Like, nah, keep that thing sexy, and you'd be surprised at how your marriage continuously will elevate. Intimacy will elevate. You want your wife to be a porn star for you? Well, care about your appearance. I don't know where's this thing coming from that y'all think women don't care about how y'all look, how y'all smell. It's nothing like laying on Namdi's chest and he smell like some good expensive cologne.
Smell like that.
My God, his beard smell good. Like, yes, like we care about those things too. And ladies, y'all should already know men are drawn by their eyes. So take care of yourself. So that's my take.
Yeah, no.
What would you say? Men growing unattracted?
Attracted to their spouse anymore?
Yeah.
First off, again, I make sure you get somebody that you attracted to. Point blank. And again, you could get into bed and some things could make somebody be a little bit more look a little better than what they actually are too.
What you mean?
So just from maybe the sex game was right, so you just say, you know what, I'm gonna give a pass.
Oh, okay.
The brother gave a pass. I'm like, man, she do that one thing. You know what I'm saying?
So even if he isn't like attracted to him because she's good in bed, he'll still go with her. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it might. I'm not saying it. I haven't met too many, but sometimes sometimes you look like, okay,
why they together?
Why they okay, well, maybe, you know.
She must got that.
Or whatever. So really get somebody you're attracted to, especially.
Dang, that sucks.
Yeah, especially like younger couples, young people too, that's hearing this is maybe single or something. Get somebody you're attracted to. Sometimes too, I've seen people, get married off a lot of like church influence.
Oh my Lord.
Like a leader or something that had a strong influence on them, and now like you with this person based off of because this is maybe your spiritual father, and he was like, I see so and so for you. And I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like I had one of those situations when I was younger. Like I remember my spiritual father. He came and he was like, yeah, I see so and so for you, and I was like, He said, pray about it.
He said, nah.
I'm like, I ain't really had much to pray about, but like
I'm not attracted.
He asked me again like next week. I'm like, nah, Pastor, I can't do that.
Yeah.
So first off, again,
that's a good point.
Yeah.
Because that is something that Christians do, is that we marry somebody just because they're a Christian.
Because they're a Christian, we in the same youth group. Yeah. We grew up together.
That don't mean nothing.
Our parents really would like us together.
Yes.
Our pastor really like kind of made this matchmaker deal. Yeah. But guess what? They're not gonna be there for the rest of your life. You better get what you want, okay? Like what you want, straight up. You like somebody with a little bit of edge to them, sister, like you want some with a little thug to them, whatever. Hey, listen, it's some saved brothers that used to be in the streets. Get you one. You know what I'm saying?
But even more specific, looks.
Yeah.
Like if you know you don't like a bigger dude, don't get with a bigger dude because he's saved and deep.
Yeah.
Men, if you know you want a woman with a small waist and big breasts, don't get with a woman that got the complete opposite because she's deep.
Yeah.
Like y'all made attraction deep. It's not deep. Are you attracted to that person? Yes or no? Are you attracted to them when they ain't got nothing on? When they ain't got no makeup on? When they bare out of the shower? Can you do with the rolls? Can you do with the acne? Can you do with, like, this is real discussions because especially for me growing up in church, like you just supposed to give with a pastor, give with a minister. But like mama, he's like really heavily overweight. I couldn't even, like, if you can't imagine doing it with them. You don't need to be doing it
You
with them.
gotta watch those outside influences.
Yes.
Like I remember some cats clowning me because I talked to a girl that was like, I think she was a nurse practitioner or something.
Yeah.
And they like, you don't want us to be. I was like, nah, there's some things I just don't feeling with her. Or whatever.
Yeah.
They like, Negro, you crazy. She gonna have so much bread. They joking on me, just going hard on me, like, oh, this dude he's stupid or whatever the case.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, at the end of the day, I didn't feel like I was gonna be attracted to her physically this much for that long or whatever, and so many other things that went into it. So watch those outside influences, get somebody that you're attracted to. But again, going in, you was attracted to them, all those things. Now you married, and for some reason you're not. Pretty much, I got to piggyback again. Yes, it's probably something that has to do with emotional or something like when somebody isn't treating you right or you feel like they're not treating you right, they could come looking kind of ugly to you. Or they can't look. They won't look as good to you.
Yeah.
But man, like I think like when me and you are on the same page with each other, ooh, we get a triple way or we just give it a date night, and I'll look at you, I'll be like
marriage convention.
Oh yeah, marriage. Man, we came.
What?
Babe, no. Okay, let me stop it, y'all. Woo! Hey, let me tell you, it's nothing like for me. I'm sorry. I speak for the very few men who are can be attracted more, stimulated mentally and emotionally than just physically. Like I know some brother. I know most men. No, baby, this is the truth, and I've heard this spoken many times. Most men. Their wife could be treating them bad, not respecting them, not honoring them. They don't give a dang. They still want to get it. They just want to get it. They want to get it. Me, my meter's like down. That. I'm like, you ain't expecting me. I don't want to do it. I don't want to touch you.
I gotta apologize to get some.
I don't want to touch you. Straight up. Hey, I'm the very few men out there that's like this or whatever. I don't want to because emotionally we not connecting, we not vibing. Maybe we not mentally on the same wavelength right now at this time. So again, like we get those time date nights are just paramount. So making sure y'all getting that time away with each other. Maybe there's a thing where she's getting out of shape or he's getting out of shape, man, and influence. Man, how you think we should get a gym membership this year? Hey, let's go up there and check out
and do it together.
Whatever, yeah, and do it together there. One of the things that I can't stand. I think one of the things that we noticed when we first got married was. That we would see like these guys who we remember they were like smaller when they got married. It usually was a man. It was usually the man. Smaller when they got married. But woman seemed to be staying on top of her game, making sure everything's intact with her. She done pushed out 2, 3, 4, 5 babies.
Right.
But the man is just like, just swole, look like he don't care.
Yeah.
His dress game, just straight trash. He just don't care. I used to look at them when I was single like, I'm not going to be that. I used to think like, what makes...
You got your little love handles now.
Very tad bit. And I'll get rid of those.
I put a little meat on them.
Look,
we don't mind a little meat.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. But like...
That's a good, healthy man.
Yeah. But like, overtly this happening when you didn't come in like that,
right?
Like most men would not be okay with their woman. Like she came in all nice and got a nice shape, and then all of a sudden she just big as a house. You understand? And nothing against it. We're not. We know nowadays you got to get disclaimers out there because
we're saying if you started one way and ended another way.
Yeah, if you ended another way.
If you enter the marriage,
Please forgive me. I'm sharing Denise's son, so I may just have not filter share Denise's son. My mama. She
not
used to,
big as a house.
Hey, she would just say what it is. It is what it is.
Yes, she
would.
But
she had no filter at all. But again. You should not just be getting all out of whack. Like men, like I'm mainly speaking to the men on this. Hey man, let's hit this gym up. You understand? Like let's get there. Let's just get on the treadmill or whatever. She would love that. I mean, when I'm at least, even when I'm in the gym and I'm getting it done, babe.
It motivates me.
And I'm coming right. You'll let me know.
Like, okay, chest.
Yeah, and just the smallest thing. I'll just go for a day and she'll be like, okay, chest. So what she's doing is...
No, I'm not even gonna play. I really do be seeing stuff. I feel like your muscle memory is bizarre. Like he will go to the gym 3 times. I'll be like, that cut was not, like, I know your body.
Yeah.
That was not there.
It's in my genetics.
Yeah,
shout out to my dad.
You will literally work out for a week and I'll be like... Yeah. Okay.
It's in my genes.
So I
It's my
can't
dad.
imagine what you would look like. Just give it 3 months.
Yeah, if
It'll
I
be sick.
really went hard in the game. But again, women, maybe that's what you need to do.
Yeah.
Or man, she comes in, she goes to the gym once, keep encouraging. Okay, babe, I see you. Okay, I
Yeah.
see that work. Whatever that encourages them.
It does.
And doing those different things
does.
and changing up your diet. This is
Yes.
probably one of the biggest parts of it.
Absolutely.
You know, for us, we probably been slacking a little bit, but we probably like 60%
yeah.
vegan,
Yeah.
40%, you know, all other
Yeah.
foods and all those things. That's probably the biggest part for many of us is that we're just not planning out meals. We're
Yeah.
not setting those things up, babe. I
Right.
mean, you've been pretty good at that. How have you been able to sustain those type of things? Because it's probably a woman out there that just don't know. So she's getting fast food every day.
Yeah.
They're eating out all the daggone
Yeah.
time. I mean, I don't believe you even came into the game really knowing how to cook that much either. What did you do?
Yeah. So first and foremost, I was gonna say this: like, please care about yourself. Not even just looking good for your spouse. Look good for you. Like, look good for yourself.
Yeah.
Like, that's when we get caught up. Is because like. You just trying to look good for him. He ain't gonna always make you feel good. So you need to feel good for you. You need to look good for yourself. I just want to say that. Like my night routines, my morning routines, me getting up, drawing on some eyebrows, putting my that. I mean, yeah, Namdi's gonna benefit, but I'm doing that for me. So I just want to say that.
Yeah.
And then also just speaking to the women about food, and. It's a discipline to set your butt down and plan out those meals. Number one, you save money. But secondly, even though me and Namdi aren't like the healthiest, we do when we see ourselves going a little hard in the pain, we're like, all right, it's time to get these green juices. It's time to get on these smoothies. So like, just try not to overindulge consistently. Have some pullback game to yourself to where it's like, okay, this week we can't do the eating out. We can't do the fried chicken. We can't do the fried fish. And was there a second half to that question?
No, I mean, I know one of the things too, you didn't really know how to cook.
Oh,
when you first got with me, because it's a lot of nowadays, a lot of
don't know
women,
how
a
to
lot of
cook.
brothers I've been hearing it's a complaint that a lot of women nowadays don't know how to cook.
Yes.
They don't know how to do that. So
Yes,
what did you do?
Well, number one, I started watching YouTube.
Okay.
I've literally started researching healthy foods and how to cook them. I'm also a very quick learner, so I will say that, and I will flip a meal easily. But
her meals are so fire. You would
Thank
think
you,
she's
baby.
been cooking forever.
I cook like a
I
grandma.
mean, so good. I mean, jollof rice. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, thank you, baby. Yeah, so but I'm also like very passionate. So I just want to encourage a wife right now. I began to like study modest traditional women. Don't run away. Hold on, come back. But I started seeing what were these women doing. And one of the things that they for sure did was feed their families, and they made it a non-negotiable to cook for their family. Now, this does not mean you know, what's it called? Kneading dough or whatever you call it. Like
making everything from scratch.
It doesn't mean that, but it does mean that I am going to be intentional about our meal tonight. I'm going to be intentional about making sure he don't got to go to Burger King and Chick-fil-A all the time. Making sure that something is warm and cooked for them. But I researched, babe. I went on YouTube and I just started studying wives and how they were cooking, how they were planning their days. You know me. Look, I got a whole time blocking machine where I am consistently on my stuff because I didn't see it. So if you did not grow up seeing a wife cook, if you did not grow up seeing a woman take care of her home, baby, it's YouTube University. There's so many women, and it don't got to be expensive, and it don't got to take all day. Like just do what you can. But care about yourself. Care about the taking care of your temple is caring about what you put in it, and that is the food. And so and that's a big part to people being overweight and just getting sloppy. That's a part of skin being bad. That's a part of hair not being healthy. It's a part of depression and mental illness. Look, I can go on the food part for a minute. So be mindful, like, and it's not too late to start. You can start now. Like, okay, I'm gonna start researching some healthy meals that's healthy to me. Fish and broccoli and some brown rice, and make your own little sauce, and that'd be good. Start off with that, and your husband will appreciate it too.
Oh, definitely, man. So if you're trying to get that attraction back, it's so many different things, you know, with it again, you know, making sure that you know we're maybe encouraging to go to the gym. We're encouraging a healthy lifestyle, that we're emotionally connected. Getting something like, I believe that we said in one of our other episodes, the Gottman's card decks that we use.
Oh, yeah.
We use that sometimes
If you don't
on
know
some
what
of our.
to talk about.
Yeah, well, we'll put that in the link below. But that's something again, because you just need to. Sometimes you just haven't really dated and talked to each other. I think that's probably one of the biggest factors right there.
It's a huge factor,
because most people I think are with somebody that they actually think
are
looks
attracted.
good. They're attracted to in some type of form.
But if you know
way.
you need to lose weight, go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
Like I remember when I started taking these vitamins that I almost got up to 180. Now, granted, I carry my weight pretty darn well. It goes to the places y'all, we want them to go. But I had a little stomach. Like, some days I looked like I was giving 4 months pregnant. And not only did I looked okay, but I felt weird. Like when you feel overweight. But when I got up to that weight, Namdi didn't have to tell me that. You didn't have to be like, babe, what's going on? So even if you've gained a little bit, like you gained some weight.
Yeah.
When you lost weight.
Yeah.
Like if your husband don't like something too small, then just be aware. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, again, just making sure that don't be silent about it. Don't silently sit there and unattracted to him.
Right.
Just you got to know how to come with love.
Yeah.
Whenever my wife wants to tell me about something, I wasn't a big shaver before I met her.
Yeah.
She came to me in a loving way, like, "Hey, babe, I would love for you to,
get rid of it." Yeah.
So I started doing it, and actually, I love the improvements in so many ways.
Yeah.
I really love
Yeah.
just doing that and keeping myself up in that way for her, man. So just having those conversations. Hey, can I speak to you, babe?
It's sticky, though.
Say something good to them.
Yes.
Up them about something first, okay? Then slide in what you suggest, okay?
Yeah.
And then end it off with, hey, with this may help us in this area or whatever the case may be. Hey,
and if they love you, they'll do it.
Oh, they'll definitely do it.
They'll do it.
I do a lot of things because I know, well, number one, it's good for me. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it for myself. But also because I know that she'll be attracted to it or whatever. So she tell me, like, if y'all see the hair like this right now, she tell me go all black, I probably go all black next week. You understand? And she tell me to twist it, might be twist next week.
They gonna call you what them other men they be calling them men.
Squares?
Yeah.
I don't care.
I think you're a square, baby.
I don't care. Whatever they want, they call me square. Hey, I'm
think
good.
you considered one of them.
Squares is coming in. We're in.
They
okay?
definitely are in.
We're in. It is what it is. Russell Wilson, shout out to you, buddy. Okay?
Oh my gosh.
Straight up. Square University, homie.
No, for real.
You feel me?
Don't nobody want no old, complicated, non-cooperative, difficult spouse. Like, they made being good to your partner a square.
Hey, square ain't nothing wrong. Hey, if
It's
you good because you good to
not.
your wife now,
You provide
you're a
and
square.
protect.
Because you ain't gonna be around a bunch of men while they cheating and they doing a whole bunch of
How about that?
thing like stuff that's
Now
ungodly.
I'm getting invited to
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh yeah, they don't want to invite me. They don't want to invite me, man. I'm not about to be out there condemn you like you sinning. You know what I'm saying? But when they know that it's gonna be stuff that's not, they not gonna invite me.
Yeah.
Or most time, even if I'm invited, like sometimes my frat, they'll send me something, and I'll be like,
nope, not going.
Yeah, probably won't make it to that one, frat. We'll
No, I was just gonna say, just care about yourself and do research. Like you gotta stop being lazy. Like that be a lot of the problems that I see in marriages is that especially I gotta go out for my ladies. And the women be lazy too, but the men, like y'all, listen to me, husbands. Listen to me, husbands. We still need y'all to surprise us. We still need to feel like that girl you was chasing to get the booty. We still need to feel like the girl that you opened the door for. And when we put our leg out and it was shining and you was just amazed, but we still need to feel like that. And the crazy thing is, we said this in our last podcast, loving someone into what you want them to do. I mean, it sounds like manipulation, but it's just the truth. Like we are drawn and pulled and changed by love. So don't be mean if your wife is overweight. Don't be mean and be like, or just don't touch her no more. Don't compliment her no more. You do things by make a smoothie for her and y'all go on a fast together. Just don't get lazy, y'all, because laziness is also a crack for the enemy to come in.
there you have it. Anybody else, like if you got anything, how would you say that it is if somebody's unattracted to their spouse? What should they do? Would love to hear from you in the comments. Make sure you interact with us. Let us know. But that brings this to a conclusion.
Yay.
Hey, we just wanted to come back, just share some things that we, some things that we got back from the marriage boot camp there, and answer some questions that we definitely would love to put our spin on. Hopefully, it provided some type of value to you in your life, whether you're single, whether you're married this time. We just glad to pour into you in some type of way. But listen, if you love us, I think my wife wants to tell you what you should do.
You need to like this video and subscribe right now. You need to like this video. Join the family.
Come on now.
No, seriously, please like, because y'all be watching and not liking. Y'all be watching and not subscribing. We see y'all.
About 60% of y'all that watch our videos are not subscribed.
Yeah,
man.
that's a problem.
Hey man, go ahead and subscribe. Stop dating us. Go ahead and marry us. Come along, man. We're gonna get better and better and all that.
And I just want to say this, y'all. DM us the topics y'all want us to cover.
Please
do. We would love to talk about what
comments
y'all want to hear. What topics y'all want to. We don't care, y'all. Y'all should see we cover it all. We don't hold anything back. We're transparent. We're raw. All of that. So yes, subscribe, join the family. Listen, follow us on all social media, and we will see you on the next Pillow Talking with the who?
The Waves. Holla. Hey, thank you for making it to the end of this video. If you could do us a huge favor, please hit that like button and please subscribe.
Yes, and please do not forget to hit that notification bell. We need y'all to be locked in every single time we drop this fire content.
Yes.
Also, we need y'all to follow us on all social media platforms at the Ewables. And look, we will see y'all on the next video.
Holla.